Let's go, boys.
Touchdown, Hiram Boren. Connor Gardner ties it with 29.9, takes the goal. Ball's going to be recovered and scoring a touchdown for the Mountain Lions.
Elliott to the outside, to the 50-yard line. Here comes Deontay Elliott to the near boundary. Skips on the tackle, down the
Number 9, superstar Georgie Ramirez.
The ball caught for the two-point conversion by Ramses Rivera. We are tied at 54 apiece in triple overtime. A very pleasant good evening from Tempe, Arizona, on the campus of Arizona State University inside Sun Devil Stadium, site of the 2019 Arizona AIA 6A State Championship game. And folks, I can tell you this right now, high atop Sun Devil Stadium in section 207, alongside my broadcast partner James Poovey, I'm Kevin Derryberry, and the venue here at Sun Devil Stadium is absolutely dynamic. 6A State Championship football coming up next on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. James, I welcome you in. It's been a 15-week process, my man, and Red Mountain has won 10 consecutive games. They are trying to not only knock down the door of a state championship, but knock it in, knock it down, and crash through with a victory here tonight over a very, very talented and a very deep Liberty Lion football team.
Yeah, we were down on the field pregame this evening talking with a few of the Red Mountain players, the coaches, and a few of the fans in attendance as well. Everybody's pumped up for this ball game here tonight. They're ready to roll, and it should be a great one from Sun Devil Stadium. You mentioned 10 wins in a row. The only loss this season, a 4-overtime, 1-point loss to the Perry Pumas. So this team is fired up. They're ready to go, and it's going to be a great one here tonight at Sun Devil Stadium.
Red Mountain entering with a record of 12-1. They take on Liberty, who comes in at 9-4 under their head coach in his 5th season. That's Mark Smith, a dynamic coach, a superhuman being, and what he delivers from a message standpoint and a leadership standpoint for the Liberty Lions and their community is second to none. He's much like our guy here at Red Mountain High School, Mike Peterson, all the way from New Mexico. This young man is in his 3rd year now. He's 31-9. And I am proud to say I work for Red Mountain football, and I am a part of Red Mountain football and their lore and their head coach, Mike Peterson, the 2-time Coach of the Year in the East Valley region. He takes a football team here tonight seeking their first crown since 2001. You do the math on that, James. That's 18 years ago since Red Mountain's been in the victory circle. They have a chance to do so here tonight.
Well, we were lucky enough to run into the coach of that last state championship team, Mr. Jim Jones, this evening. Nice talking with him. This team is fired up and ready to go, Kevin. We were talking with Coach Smith before the ball game tonight. These teams are really a mirror of each other. They're big up front on both sides of the football. They have speed out of the backfield, good receivers. Their quarterbacks are nimble. It's going to be a great matchup here tonight.
Oh, mirror is the word. And you look at both sides of these football teams. They both have dynamic quarterbacks in Jonah Guevara and our very own Hiram Bourne. Jonah Guevara has made 26 starts in his high school career. For Hiram Bourne, he will make his 14th start here this evening. So it really is, it's a tale of two different guys, two different leadership qualities, but they're both amazing athletes. And Jonah Guevara is a 400-meter guy. He's got electric speed. And Bourne is a lot more athletic, if you will. He's a little stronger, provides a lot of toughness running the football at that quarterback position. But Guevara, he can run like a gazelle, and he is just as quick as they come.
Well, Guevara, you mentioned the speed. He's the leading rusher, 761 yards on the campaign. He's just outstanding, 733 yards from the pocket, 19 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. The guy can do it all. He's a very much a dual-threat quarterback, and his talents are going to be on display here this evening in this one.
James, tonight marks the first ever meeting between these two schools, between Liberty and Red Mountain. That's right, it's an all-Lion file. In fact, it's an all-Mountain Lion file if you look at it in terms of Red Mountain. The last appearance in the finale was back in 2014 for Liberty. They lost to Centennial, that team coached by Mark Smith, but here it is 5 years later. They're back in the championship game. And for Red Mountain, it's been 18 years. We mentioned that. They're 2-0 in title games. Jim Jones was the architect and the leader of those football programs. And for Red Mountain, a chance to go 3-0 in title games here with a victory here this evening.
Yeah, 3-0 would be the mark that they want to achieve. This is going to be a great football game here tonight. And Red Mountain is looking to cap off a magnificent, wonderful season here tonight and hoist that gold ball here in just over 4 quarters from now, Kevin.
The Mountain Lions won the toss. They elected to defer, and Liberty will kick it off. We'll double check that, and here we are. We're underway. And the kick is high, it's deep, and taking it out across the 20 to the 25-yard line. On the return, that was the beast, Daniel Butler. And for Daniel Butler, he wears 24. He's a junior at 5'6". He's an East Valley Region honorable mention player, and he'll set up shop for the quarterback at the 26-yard line going left to right, Red Mountain wearing their all-black uniforms. And let me tell you something, these guys clad in all black, they look awesome tonight, James.
A blackout here this evening at Sun Devil Stadium, Kev. I saw one of the tweets from one of the student council members, a member of the Red Sea. It said, show up tonight or transfer.
How about show up and show out? Hiram Bourne takes the shotgun snap. He's going to throw the football to George Ramirez on the near sideline. And Ramirez makes the catch, and he scoots up the sideline, and then he's bumped off the play immediately by number 10, Shane Pitts. Shane Pitts also serves as the place kicker for this football team and does a fine job at safety for head coach Mark Smith.
Yeah, nice play there to open up things for Red Mountain. A gain of 6 on the play, a little swing pass there. Real quick, out into the flat to Georgie Ramirez. Hiram Bourne out of the shotgun, always dangerous. And a nice little gain there for the Mountain Lions to get things started tonight.
Pitts tackle number 60 for him. That'll bring up a third and make it a 2nd and 4. And running the football for the first time tonight is the tailback for Red Mountain. That looked like it was Georgie Ramirez, and Georgie will get extended playing time on the offense here tonight with the injury to Deontay Elliott. Of course, Deontay out for his 2nd consecutive game with that ACL tear. In fact, I am pleased to report that Deontay had surgery on Monday. He's doing well. He's in the stadium tonight, and he looks good, and he is expected to make a full recovery for this football team. And for his future going forward, that's huge.
Yeah, it was nice to see him and his dad on the sideline earlier this evening.
Red Mountain will move the sticks on the first series, and they get a high snap that time to Hiram Bourne, and coming in and disrupting the play is Jace Accurso, and Accurso will do that quite a bit. A 6', 225-pound senior plays linebacker. He'll also get some carries tonight, and he's been a very effective goal line runner, so we'll see how things develop for Jace Accurso. But for the high snap, that was Costin Cooley. He's up front. He's the anchor and the captain of this offensive line. We'll get you those starters here in just a moment. Flank to the left of Hiram Bourne is Ty McElroy, as you saw some movement on that right side of the line for Liberty, and now they'll just wait and regather the mojo here. Now switching to the right side is Ty McElroy. 3 wide receiver package for Hiram Bourne. They run it to T-Mac in between the tackles. Starts left, cuts towards the middle, and they're going to gank tackle him. Jack Stam was there along with Jace Accurso, and also in that play for Liberty was number 17. That's David Rosas, and Rosas picks up tackle number 27 right there. You talk about team defense, they're gang tackling Ty McElroy. That front 4 looked good on that particular play.
Yeah, great penetration up front that time for the Liberty Lions, able to get through there. You mentioned number 8, Jack Stam. He's the leading tackler for the Liberty Lions. 93 tackles on the season, 40 of those solo with 5 TFL, so he is no stranger to the opposing backfield.
He is a playmaker. Bourne looking down the barrel, but 3rd down and 7. Shotgun snap, rolls left, throws off his back foot. He throws, and a ball is caught at the 50-yard line. They're going to wave it off. Sliding into position to nearly haul that one in. It looked like it was Jared Wilson, and indeed it was the leading receiver on this football team. Jared Wilson has 53 catches for just under 900 yards, and that pass just a little bit short, and Jared Wilson did a nice job to slam on the brakes, try to come back and corral that one, but it hit the turf, and the official was all over that play.
Jay Willie almost able to haul that one in there. Hiram Bourne flowing out to his left-hand side. A nice block on the edge there that time from Ty McElroy, but unfortunately Jared Wilson not able to come up with the reception.
Back deep for Liberty is Gavin Guy. He wears number 7, and that's the punt by Connor Gardner. CG11 booms one. Does he touch it? That ball continues the roll, and oh, wow. That ball rolled all the way inside the red zone, all the way to the goal line, and it was touchdown on the goal line. So Connor Gardner booted that ball right near the 30-yard line, and unfortunately for the special teams group for Red Mountain, they weren't able to down that ball. They had a golden opportunity to down that ball inside the 1-yard line and just missed as that ball bounced the funny way.
Well, the return man for Liberty had a bit of hesitation there. I wasn't quite sure if he was going to try to field that one and run with it or get out of the way of it. It almost looked like it grazed him there for a second. The ball took a great Red Mountain bounce and could have been down at the 1, maybe 2-yard line on that one, but unfortunately it trickled into the end zone, and it's a touchback for Liberty.
So Liberty will start the football game at the 20-yard line, working right to left, wearing their black pants and their white uniforms with the black helmets. Jonah Guevara gets the start at quarterback. He'll start in a shotgun snap. They run a jet sweep to the right side, and sweeping with the football that time was Gavin Guy, and a host of Red Mountain tacklers right there to lock them up after, we'll call it a 6-yard gain. George Ramirez, number 9, up there from that safety position to make the stick right there, and that was a very effective and efficient run on first down.
Yeah, great run off the right-hand side that time.
Guevara will send his man in motion. In motion, that was Joseph Forney. Back to throw for Guevara for the first time. He's going to scramble under pressure, rolls out, throws to the near side, and it's going to be incomplete. Sliding and nearly trying to make a catch that time was 14, Kalen Knapp. Knapp is a junior at 5'10", 160-pounder, coming off a game where he caught 2 passes. Well, he caught 2 receptions for 46 yards and a touchdown. He also ran the ball twice for 14 yards.
Yeah, an impressive showing. That time, pressure applied off the edge that time from number 32, Jared Butler for Red Mountain. Got in the face of the quarterback and forcing the errant throw and the third down now here.
Look for Trey Smith on the edge. He wears double eight shotgun formation again for Guevara. Use the hard count. They run it to Forney on the sweep. No, it's going to be Guevara. There he goes. He's in the midfield at the 45-yard line, and he takes it into the secondary, and George Ramirez will tackle him around the 47-yard line. And good thing Georgie was right there. That was an excellent open field tackle for George Ramirez. He might have saved the touchdown right there for the very fleet of foot, Jonah Guevara.
Had me fooled too, Kevin. I was following the running back out into the flat there. I thought he had the football, but a nice play fake there for the Liberty Lions.
That was an outstanding ball fake there by Guevara. One other attribute to his game that he's very good. Again, using that hard count. If you look and see parts of this game, you see Red Mountain, you actually see Liberty, and these teams are just so close to each other. Again, Forney that time gets the first carry of the night on that sweep right, turns it up the field, and he's going to just carve off 9 yards right there before Trey Smith coming from the opposite side there to make that tackle for number 99 for Trey Smith, and for that tackle, that is his 83rd of the season. Again, quick tempo for Guevara, and they run it to Joseph Forney again. Back-to-back carries for Forney. This time, not as much running room because Cole Loria was right there to greet him, and how about it for Cole Loria? That's a huge second down stop. He forces a 3rd and short on that particular play. Right place, right time for 47.
That was a great play there for Cole Loria. A huge second down stop there, forcing a 3rd and short here for Liberty.
For the first time tonight, Liberty in Red Mountain territory. Ball spotted on the 45-yard line. Again, a hard count being used, and you saw a little flinch on that offensive line there, but no call. We'll get you our officials right after this play. We're scoreless from Sun Devil Stadium, 7:02 remaining in this first quarter. Guevara slaps his hands. He's going to hand it off to Forney, and Forney's going to work himself to the, we'll call it the, well, we'll say the 45-yard line, maybe the 46, and he's going to have the first down. So Forney moves the sticks, but he didn't have a lot of running room over there. Again, excellent defense by that left side, and I think the cornerback, Andrew Bonham, who's playing the boundary position here tonight, is going to be asked to do a lot more tackling tonight than we've seen in other games.
Yeah, Joseph Forney really didn't have a whole lot of room to run, but he kept those legs churning the second and third effort on the play, and he was able to plunge forward and get enough for the first.
Hustling on for Red Mountain, number 75, Tyler Brown. Brown will spell multiple players on that defensive front. The 5'8", 193-pound sophomore getting a lot of playing time here this season. Guevara takes the shotgun snap. A play fake. He wants to throw it. Going down the middle of the field. He's got a receiver. He's there. He's open. He makes the catch, and he's going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown. A 43-yard scoring strike from Jonah Guevara to Gavin Guy. And for Gavin Guy, his 41st reception of the season. That one's good for a touchdown. He's got 4 touchdowns on the year.
Outstanding job there, Gavin Guy. Once again, the quarterback doing a nice job there out of the shotgun. Jonah Guevara, a nice play fake and a ball right down the field. Excellent over-the-shoulder catch, and nothing but green grass and 6 points.
Guevara began this game with 1,733 passing yards. He completed 64% of his passes. He just threw touchdown pass number 20 on the campaign right there for Jonah Guevara. And Liberty strikes first here. So it's a good snap. Placement down, and Shane Pitts buries the 1 point after. And with 6:22 to go in this first quarter from Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe in this 6A state championship game, Liberty throws the first punch here in this one, and they connect. And Red Mountain now will have to play a game of comeback, and they've done that before. This is nothing new to Red Mountain. They were trailing 14-0 to Desert Ridge a couple weeks back, and they scored 21-something unanswered points. So this team can come back and deal with adversity, no question about it.
Yeah, they'll make some adjustments really quick here in the huddle and get back out on the football field and get to work. So look for Red Mountain to strike back here on offense once they get the football. You mentioned the first meeting between these two teams, so they got to kind of feel each other out a little bit, and Red Mountain does a good job of that.
How eerily is it to see Jonah Guevara use that hard count, snap his hands to to get the snap off and to set up the snap count. But the play fake right there, he's very good and very deceptive with the football. That's an element we have not seen a lot this year. Other quarterbacks are very good with their craft at that, but Guevara is exceptional on the ball fakes. And that play fake right there to find a wide open Gavin Guy, literally streaking down the hash marks there. He was wide open, and that's something that Kyle Anders would be concerned about going forward, because Liberty's offense is nothing short of exotic. They do a lot of crazy things. They do flea flickers. They have razzle-dazzle in their playbook. All of those things are what they do. It's part of their offense. So how do you stop that? How do you study that? It's difficult.
Well, it all starts with Guevara, and you've got to almost have someone spying him the entire time, especially with his ability to run the football and get loose. We talked with Coach Smith before the game. He's a 4x100 guy in the track field in the spring, and so once he gets into the open field, he's going to be very tough to tackle, so they got to make sure and not overrun the plays. The defensive linemen for Red Mountain have to stay in their lanes, don't create extra running lanes for Guevara, and keep him honest, if you will.
Number 1, Red Mountain. Number 7, Liberty here from Sun Devil Stadium. Liberty with a round 1 victory over La Jolla, 76-28. They won again in the quarters, beating Mesa Mountain View 45-28. Red Mountain also took on Mountain View and beat them earlier this season. And then Liberty, a 33-30 win over Desert Vista. So that was huge. All right, they pooch to the far side. It's Skidmore, and Skidmore is going to take it to the 29-yard line, and making that special teams tackle there for the Lions was double fours on that play. Excellent tackle there by Sam Wolfer, the linebacker, 6'1", 195. That's his 16th tackle of the year, and he does it on special teams.
Nice tackle there by Wolfer. If you're Coach Mike Peterson for Red Mountain, what do you think they're going to open up with here, Kevin, in this second drive of the game?
Well, if you're Chris Andriotis and Tabor Lamar, you don't like being down 7-0, but they've got to be patient. They've got to stay within their game plan, and I think this team will do that. But the eagerness might allow them to take a shot downfield here early. There goes Skidmore in motion. Pistol formation for Bourne. High snap. He gives it to Ty McElroy. He starts inside. He cuts it, and he cuts it to the left. And then ripping off a big run right there is Ty McElroy. He runs right into Liberty's number 34 that time. 34, Michael Hammond, a defensive lineman. 6 foot, 225, picking up his 19th tackle.
What a run there for Ty McElroy. Power football that we're used to seeing from Red Mountain. 7.4 average per carry for Ty, and he got 8 on that one.
Gain 8 for Ty McElroy again with a call of his own number is Hiram Bourne, and Bourne takes that direct snap, works behind that left side, and he's got a lot of running room, and he'll take it close to the 50-yard line where he's going to be knocked out of bounds and tackled right at the 50-yard line. So Red Mountain with a first down, their first first down of the night. They've got the ball at midfield, trailing 7-0 here in the opening quarter.
2 statement plays right there, Kevin. A power run from Ty McElroy off the left-hand side, and then the quarterback keeper from Hiram Bourne. Power, followed up by more power, and Red Mountain with another first down at the midfield stripe.
You can run power left because you've got Ben Bray, an ASU commit, a 2-time East Valley Region first-teamer on that left side, right next to Isaiah Artis. Artis, 6'1", 205. He's an East Valley Region second-teamer. Play fake again. It's Bourne. He wants to run the football. He's got a hole. He's got room, and he's going to run right through that hole and pick up extra yardage again. That's a 9-yard gash for Hiram Bourne. Now the quarterback doing Jonah Guevara-type things.
Yeah, Hiram Bourne making it happen. I tell you what, you mentioned Ben Bray on that one. He was in open space there right about the midpoint of the face of the Sparky logo there at midfield, and they did a great job blocking on that, as did Ty McElroy, springing Hiram Bourne for another nice run.
Boy, the big fella in the middle, he's a load. Grant Collins, where's number 90, 5'11", 260. Big boy. Second down and 2. Ball spotted on the 42-yard line. How fitting is it right here in Sun Devil Stadium? Have the ball at the 42-yard line. Play fake for Bourne. Throw it down the field. The ball is going to be caught. And making the reception is the tight end, Gage Skidmore. And as Skidmore makes the catch and then rolls inside the red zone, he gets up promptly and points first down for the Red Mountain Lions, their second consecutive first down.
Just another day at the office there for number 80, Gage Skidmore, running down the seam. Hiram Bourne sees the big target in the middle of the field. A nice pitch and catch there for Red Mountain, and another first down.
Hiram Bourne to Gage Skidmore for 31 yards, 1st and 10, Red Mountain. Again, working left to right. Now Mark Smith wants to take a timeout, and Mark Smith takes an early timeout, and that's something that you like if you're Red Mountain, because the tempo is in favor of the Mountain Lions. And we've watched this team now. This will be our 15th week. People ask me what I thought about this game going into it, and I said, hey, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to respect Liberty to the fullest. It's a team that complements Red Mountain in so many areas. They're so similar. It's freaky scary how similar they are. So if you're Red Mountain, you kind of practice against this group. You've seen them all season long. It's very similar as far as the shell looks, if you will. But for me, Red Mountain's won 10 straight games. They have faced adversity just a couple of times. When they've faced adversity, they've dealt with it head on. They are a buzzsaw in their own right. I don't know who's going to stop them. Liberty is going to be they'll have the opportunity here tonight, but Red Mountain, once they settle in and get used to the confines here, they're just going to do what Red Mountain does. That's play football and play a great brand of football.
Yeah, well, the bigness of the stadium and the bigness of the stage tonight here for these kids is probably a little bit overwhelming at first, but now, as you can see, this team is now settling in to their groove and really starting to click on offense.
Ball spotted on the 20-yard line. Bourne a shotgun snap. He's going to run it. Now he's going to stop, change directions, and he's going to hit the deck. And coming over there to touch him down for a nice quarterback sack for Liberty was number 16, Colin Lupinacci. Lupinacci, a defensive lineman at 6'1", 258. Give him his 4th tackle for a loss as he got Bourne behind the line of scrimmage. We'll call that a 3-yard loss, so the ball will be spotted on the 23-yard line. Red Mountain faces a 2nd and 13, and Jared Wilson splits out far to the left side. The tailback, flank to the left of Hiram Bourne, is Ty McElroy, and George Ramirez is lined up at one of those tight end spots. There goes Jackson Beecher in motion. Bourne back to throw. He's going to run it. Finds a hole up the middle as Bourne takes the ball into Liberty territory. Ball spotted at the 18-yard line. And Hiram Bourne finding some running lanes there. James doing a nice job, again, running behind that offensive line. And you got some good ones. That left guard I mentioned, Isaiah Artis. But the center is the Region Offensive Player of the Year in Costin Cooley, 6'2", 280. He's got 13 pancakes this season. Costin Cooley, a 4-year starter, is just simply a tremendous football player.
Yeah, it was a great job there as well that time by number 58, Carson Foster. He was the backside guard pulling across and paving the way for those hard 2 yards there gained by Hiram Bourne.
Anthony Carrington has checked in at one wide receiver spot. He's flanked out to the far left. In the slot, it's Jared Wilson. And now we get another timeout taken on the field, and Mike Peterson elects to take his first timeout for the Mountain Lions. 2:46 to go in this opening quarter. We'll step aside here listening to Red Mountain Football on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. We welcome you back to Sun Devil Stadium as Hiram Bourne takes a shotgun snap. He's going to roll. He wants to throw the football. He throws it to the near boundary, making a cutback. It's George Ramirez. He's going to scoot himself into the end zone for a touchdown. Georgie Ramirez from Hiram Bourne, 18-yard touchdown reception. And how about the move by Georgie Ramirez? You talk about a cut left. The jump cut by number 9, George Ramirez, got himself free. And then the hustle and the power into the end zone. George Ramirez, a touchdown reception from Hiram Bourne. Pater pops, touchdown Mountain Lions.
An outstanding move there by Georgie Ramirez on the edge. He caught the football about the 8-yard line, saw that the tackler was in good position, made a great juke move on him, juked another guy at the goal line, spun his way into the end zone for 6.
High snap, placement down, and oh my goodness, Connor Gardner drills the point after try, but that was a low snap. And how about Jared Wilson on that hands team? Spectacular hands for the gloved Jay Willie as he got that placement down, and Connor Gardner buried the 1 point after try, but it looked a little risky, if you will. 2:38 to go in this opening quarter from Sun Devil Stadium. Red Mountain, the top seed in the 6A state championship tournament, 7. Liberty, the Lions, a number 7 seed, 7. It doesn't get any better than this, James. It's championship football from one of the greatest venues in the state. And you think about the last game that was played here at Sun Devil Stadium just a week ago, and Arizona State.
Here we go.
They put a shellacking on the University of Arizona. They punked the Wildcats again, and boy, that's special, James.
Special for Sun Devil fans. Yes, it is, sir.
You see the State 48, if you will, in the center of the stadium. There was a little bit of a gaffe there, and they covered it up.
Yeah, where was that exactly?
Not exactly sure what happened, but on rivalry week, I don't know if someone from U of A got in here. And
there was a little gathering at midfield, and there was a couple cleat scuffles in there, Kevin.
There's a Mountains right around here, just north of here, and a lot of times the opposing team will get up there and paint that A the color of their team, but you wonder if someone got to our field there. This is Guy again on the right side to the 25 to the 30, and he's going to be tackled there. Making that tackle on the special teams is number 3. And number 3 is Drake Bourne. That's Hiram Bourne's little brother. And how about Drake Bourne out there on special teams? If it's not Bryce Stahl, a lot of times it's Drake Bourne.
Well, Drake Bourne's made a number of plays for the Mountain Lions this season on special teams. He's gotten in on offense a couple times as well. Got 1 or 2 catches, I believe, from his brother this year. It's pretty special.
He has 7 for 61 yards and a score.
Wow.
Does their Drake Bourne right there. And we will have Drake for one more season. Of course, his big brother Hiram is the starting quarterback, and he is a senior. So a 7-7 tie, continuing to work right to left is Liberty. 3 wide receiver package for Guevara. He's going to throw this one out to the outside this time, making the catch and making a move towards the first down marker is the wide receiver number 3 that time. That was Jaden Pena. Pena, 5'10", 160, his 10th catch of the year, and it was the move after the reception to get the extra yardage right there. He picked up 9 yards before Major Kelly came over there and put a little pop on him.
Well, I got to tell you, this play-action game and these play fakes for Liberty are next level.
Forney flank to the right of Guevara. He looks one way. Nobody's there. Now he's going to tuck it and run it, and he runs right into a defender for Red Mountain. Making the stick was number 32, Jarrett Butler. And how about JB staying at home right there? You talk about a textbook tackle. He got low to the ground and took the quarterback on head on, and he popped him and buried him to the turf.
That's exactly what I was talking about, Kevin, a little bit earlier. Stay in your lane, stay home. Pressure applied on the outside that time from number 88, Trey Smith. Did exactly what he's coached to do. Force the action back to the inside, right into the waiting arms of Daniel Butler. Outstanding.
Playing in the middle right now at nose is Josh Campos. Campos has 23 tackles. Low snap for Guevara. They want to run it. They run it the right side, and running it with authority is the running back. That is Jace Accurso. And when you look at Accurso's size, those shoulder pads fit pretty good on him. He is a large man, 6'2", 225. You talk about a large man running into another large man. Parker McClure right there to make his 107th tackle of the season for Red Mountain. Tempo is the key here. Guevara has time in the pocket. He throws over the middle. The ball's caught. And George Ramirez is right there to wrap up the receiver. Making the catch is Carter Hill. He's their tight end. Carter Hill's an excellent football player. 6'2", 205. He's a senior. He's got offers from ACU and Concordia of Chicago. And that's his 29th reception of the season, good for 9 yards.
One thing I've noticed about this Liberty Lion football team, the second and third effort is there from every player, Kevin. So this Red Mountain team is going to have to stay disciplined, keep playing until the whistle, and don't stop until the play's over.
T-Mock Sandoval, one of those guys that gets things done on the offensive line. There's Guevara weaving through traffic into Red Mountain territory. Going to be stopped around the, we'll call it the 41-yard line, make it the 42-yard line, but Guevara a first down carry right there as he got the extra yardage and able to move the sticks before George Ramirez was able there to make the stop. Gain of 6 for Guevara. 1st and 10, they run it to the right side with speed to the edge. That was 32 getting the carry that time. That is Isaiah Pittman. He's one of their better defensive players. In fact, Pittman has 85 tackles, but Pittman will get a lot of carries tonight because the freshman tailback, Zacchaeus Cooper, out with that foot injury. He sustained a foot fracture in the scrimmage against Basha, came back to play about 5 games, and now he re-injured himself. Now it's Pittman again with the carry. And this time Pittman's going to run into Cole Loria. Cole Loria is right there to make the tackle, and it's about the spot. And I believe they're going to give Liberty the first down based on the spot of the football. So the linesman will indeed indicate that's a first down, and the Mountain Lions are back on their heels just a little bit here on the second drive of the night for Liberty. Our referee tonight is Zach Erdman. The umpire this evening will be Anthony Miller. Our head linesman is Nick Waring. The side judge is Brendan Ulatowski. Our line judge tonight will be Justin Nash. The field judge is Max Heckel, and the back judge will be Nick DePonte. The first 12 minutes are in the books from Sun Devil Stadium here in Tempe, Arizona. Our score, Red Mountain 7, Liberty 7. Second quarter coming up next as you listen to Red Mountain football on the Mountain Line Broadcast Network. We welcome you back to Sun Devil Stadium here in Tempe. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. It's 7-7 here, and it was a nice performance by the ladies for the Liberty Lions cheerleaders as well as the Red Mountain Lion cheerleaders here. Across the emblazoned logo, big Sparky at the 50-yard line, and we were starting to tell you the story. Somebody got in here and did a little artistry, a little rendering on the field, and they had to cover it up. First down stats for you for Hiram Bourne: 5 carries, 26 yards. For Ty McElroy, just 2 carries, 11 yards. George Ramirez has one rush for 6 yards. And on the other side, quickly, for Jonah Guevara, 3 catches, make it 3 carries for 26 yards. And he is 3 or 4 for 60 yards with a touchdown. So Guevara now working left to right in the pistol formation. Flank to his left is Forney, and there goes Jaden Pena in motion. Back to throw is Guevara, looking for the end zone, going deep, and the ball is overthrown. Looking for the junior wide receiver that time, Kalen Knapp, and he had one-on-one coverage. Kalen Knapp against George Ramirez, and if you're Mike Peterson and Kyle Enders, you'll take that matchup all day long, won't you?
Every single time, especially when George Ramirez is in great defensive position like he was that time. Had himself between the ball and the receiver, and that ball thrown a little bit too high and outside, so the receiver not able to make a break on it and get away from Georgie.
One thing that we've seen here for Liberty, a little bit more so than Red Mountain when you talk about the images comparing one to the other, Liberty's tempo is just a little bit more fierce here. They're right up there. They're ready to snap the football. There goes Kalen Knapp again, and Parker McClure's barking out some signals. They run it to the inside, and they run it to Forney, and Forney's going to run right into that man we just talked about, Parker McClure. And Parker McClure finishes the play by just shoving the ball carrier down. And the referee right there gives him a little bit of heads up there. The head linesman talking to him about his emotion. And you can't teach Parker McClure to bottle up that emotion. That is what that young man lives for. That's what he plays for, and that's why he steps up and gets his second tackle of the night on this drive right here.
Hey, Kevin, he's doing exactly what he's coached to do, finish the play, and that's exactly what he did there. An excellent stop there by Parker McClure, and great team defense that time for Red Mountain as well.
3rd and 8 balls on the 30-yard line of Red Mountain. Guevara's got Forney flanked to his left. 3 wide receiver package. Guevara's going to roll to his right. He fires right. The ball is too high. He threw into triple coverage. He was looking for the wide receiver, number 7, Gavin Guy, and just too much velo on that pass for Guevara. Nice job there by the offensive line for Liberty to give him time. And those guys are big up front. When you look at those guys, 65 up there. T-Mock Sandoval, 6'3", 250, a DVR first-teamer, Desert Valley Region first-teamer. Also over there, Kyle Saforak also, 6'3", 265. That left side, those guys are just animals, and they're good players. And then Vicente Maestas also excellent up there at his position. This will be a 4th down and 9 from the 30-yard line. So Mark Smith kind of gambling here just a little bit. You're almost in no man's land here, whether you punt it or you pass it. Guevara wants to throw it. Has time from the pocket. It's a clean pocket. Winds up, throws for the end zone. The ball is going to be broken up in the end zone. Back there defensively was the freshman Cole Shivers, and he comes up waving the play off. Intended target once again was the wide receiver. I think that was Gavin Guy. And that is just excellent coverage there by the freshman Cole Shivers. You talk about taking chances. Well, Cole Shivers answered the challenge for Jonah Guevara and Allen right there. That was just a heck of a play right there.
It's all about technique for these defensive backs for Red Mountain, coached by Coach Kyle Enders. Great technique that time for Cole Shivers. He gave him up 25 pounds to the receiver there, but excellent position wins every time.
Now it's Bourne, the handoff to Ty McElroy with running room, and as he makes a move to the outside, he gets belted. Making the tackle for Liberty is 32. He came up there and he put a stick on Ty McElroy. Isaiah Pittman with the tackle right there, his 86th tackle of the year to go along with 5 sacks and 17 behind the line of scrimmage. But when you talk about a train wreck right there, T-Mac on Pittman, 5'11", 180 to Ty McElroy. That is just a load right there for T-Mac. A big carry right there, 5'10", 200. That's quite the collision. Bourne on a direct run to the outside of the 30, 35, makes a move, and he powers his way close to the 40-yard line. They'll mark him short of that. Probably the 37-yard line again, more pushing and shoving a little bit late. And Jack Stam over there is one guy that you just don't want to mess with. Is a sophomore, and he is a super sophomore at that for Jack Stam. One whale of a player, a sure tackler, and he's a Desert Valley Region first-teamer. 94 tackles now for James.
Well, you talk about finishing a play. That's exactly what Jack Stam did right there. He drove Hiram Bourne into the turf that time as Hiram Bourne was refusing to go down, as he always does, making great plays with his feet.
Red Mountain will have to navigate around the big fella, Grant Collins. He's down there at that nose tackle position as Casa Cooley is right over him. Shotgun snap for Bourne. High snap. He puts it into the gut of the tailback, and it's going to be close for the first down. I'm not sure if he got it. Nas Bryant makes his first carry of the night over there defensively to stuff that play was Josh Philby. He wears number 40. Also in the vicinity was Colin Lupinacci. So a big-time defensive stop for Liberty. And what does Mike Peterson do to answer the 4th down gamble by Mark Smith? It looks like he's going to go for it in his own right here. So
and he brought in Trey Smith right now too, Kevin.
Trey Smith, the big fellow, in on this particular play. Where's he line up? He lines up on the right side at tight end. This is a full house backfield for Hiram Bourne. It's going to be a quarterback sneak in my opinion. And now we get a timeout taken on the field. It's taken by Red Mountain. So Mike Peterson takes his second timeout of the half. 8:52 to go. It's 7-7 Liberty and Red Mountain. And so far, James, a very well-played football game here. These coaches are at the top of their game. This is next level stuff here.
State championship football, Kevin. You shouldn't expect anything else but a very close football game. Well-matched teams. We talked about it in the opening part of the broadcast. These teams are almost a mirror image of each other. Saw a few headsets that time flying off in a hurry on the Red Mountain sideline. That means typically one of the coaches saw something he didn't like, and Coach Peterson had to call a timeout there. But a well-played ball game. Both these teams playing very disciplined right now. Not too many big plays given up so far in this one, and a very tight ball game.
That was a full house backfield there. George Ramirez is not in the game. It's Ty McElroy. He's the deep back. So Red Mountain comes out in an exact same set. My guess is still going to be a sneak for Hiram Bourne. Bourne under center to the turn to give to Ty McElroy, and I don't know that he got it. Ty McElroy was hit at the point of attack by 23 that time, Shane Pitts among other guys, and that is going to be a stuff on a 4th down gamble by Mike Peterson and the Mountain Lions, and their defense is going to have to stand on their head right now on a short field here for Liberty.
Yeah, what happened that time, I was watching through the binoculars, a bit of a trouble with the mesh. I don't think Ty McElroy quite got the football, a little bit of hesitation, and just too much hesitation that time allowed Liberty's defense to close in and make a stop behind the line of scrimmage.
I thought for sure they were going to sneak it with Bourne. That seemed like the safest play. He had a little bit of a lane there. Just snap it and just leap over that pile there and move the sticks. But they went through the ground game, and you have to credit the defensive front of Liberty. Those guys got to the football. Low man wins. We say that a lot, and that's what happened right there. So Liberty gets the rock right back. They'll start up at the 38-yard line. Jonah Guevara takes the low snap, puts it in the hand of Forney, and Forney gets wrapped right away. What an outstanding tackle there by Red Mountain. Cole Loria all over that play. An unassisted solo tackle for Cole Loria on the tailback, busted through the hole, and he had no hole because Cole Loria closed the gap immediately and took on Forney and dropped him to the turf. That was outstanding by Cole.
Yeah, offensive lineman for Liberty tried to chip Cole Loria, but he was having none of it, got off the block in a hurry and in the backfield for the stop.
On a play fake, it's Guevara to the air. Connection made, making a man miss was Gavin Guy. He breaks it to the outside, then he's going to be hammered out of bounds. George Ramirez up there to make the tackle, his 3rd of the game, but that was a nice move after the catch for Gavin Guy.
Yeah, these guys for Liberty are very slick. These Red Mountain tacklers are going to have to do a great job wrapping up, driving those feet, and finishing the play.
That was a nice play there by Guy as he had that transition from catch to run, and he was very close to the line to gain. So it'll be a 3rd and 1 as Liberty approaching the red zone here. 7:41 to go in a 7-7 tie. They run it to Forney on a sweep. He cuts it back inside. He's got the first down. He's in the 20, and he takes tacklers with him inside the 20-yard line. That's Parker McClure going along for the ride as Forney takes it inside the red zone. We'll say they spot the ball at the 19-yard line, and Liberty's rolling right here.
Liberty 3 receivers to the far side of the field that time, trying to draw the defense off a little bit, get them on the other side of the field, and just run that little quick toss on the opposite side.
Pena to the outside, Knapp to the slot. This is a Curso this time. Makes a man miss, sidesteps the tackler, and they're going to gank tackle him after about a 6-yard run for Jason Curso. Trey Smith among others over there defensively, Jake Griffin. So 88 on the play right there. Nice job there inside 7 minutes to go in a 7-7 tie here in this second quarter. Beautiful night for football here in Tempe, Arizona. Trips to the far side of the field for Guevara. Guevara's going to run the football. Guevara's got the rock to the outside of the 10, and he's going to take on 2 tacklers inside the 10-yard line to the 8-yard line. Over there defensively was Skylar Edmonds, and Edmonds picks up the tackle. We didn't know if Skylar was going to play this week. He had a swollen foot. He was dealing with some adversity, some health issues. But Skylar got cleared, I think, today, and he's suited up, and he's here, and he's making an impact right now.
Yeah, that was a great play there for Skylar Edmonds. A nice open field, possibly a touchdown-saving tackle right there for Edmonds.
1st and goal to go for Guevara. Hands it off to Accurso, and he's going to run right into the end zone, untouched for a touchdown. An 8-yard scamper to the end zone for Jace Accurso, and for Accurso, his 11th touchdown of the season. And there was nobody in the interior for Red Mountain. They didn't even put a hand on him that time.
Not really sure what that was there, Kevin. Must have been a bit of miscommunication on the front, on the defensive line front there for Red Mountain. And nobody filling that B gap on the near side for the Mountain Lions.
Nobody home that time. He got to the second level, made one cut to the right, and he was into the end zone, broke the tape, and there was nobody home. So Pitts will come on for the point after try. His holder for the Liberty Lions is Brock Mass, their backup quarterback. So here comes Shane Pitts, 3 of 4 in point after tries last week in that 33-30 win for Liberty. Good snap, placement down, and the kick is right down the middle. So with 6:17 to go in this second quarter, Liberty takes their second lead of the game. They now lead it 14-7, and it was a short field. That defensive, they were put in a bad spot, if you will. You give Liberty a short field and an offense like Liberty has, you made it easy for them on that particular series.
Yeah, you don't want to give these guys a short field. That's a definite advantage for them. And these guys are playmakers. Let's face it, from Guevara to the running backs and the receivers on the outside. Liberty very slippery. They got to make better tackles, does Red Mountain, and they got to get going on offense here as well.
You look at some numbers here, rushing the football for Red Mountain, 3,318 yards. That's good for second in the 6A conference. For Liberty on the other side of the coin, 3,201 yards. That's good for third. So you have the top three, you have the top two rushing teams here in the 6A conference. Two of the three are playing in this ball game, and Red Mountain again at second, Liberty third. Touchdowns, rushing touchdowns for Red Mountain, 51 on this season. Liberty just picked up their 40th right there. For Liberty, fourth in scoring touchdowns in the 6A conference. Red Mountain, 51. They're second in the 6A conference. So these teams, again, we've mentioned it before, they are just too much alike, and they're both very well coached, and there are not a lot of staffs that outwork these two staffs.
No, definitely, and both these staffs know how to make halftime adjustments, and you can rest assured that will be done for sure here in the next 6-17 coming up. But Red Mountain right now, they want to get back on the field on offense and strike back here and put some more points on the board.
No question about it. 56.7 miles separate these two schools. We are here in Tempe, kind of the central meeting point here in a newly renovated Sun Devil Stadium. And I got to tell you, James, the improvements and the enhancements that they have made here at Sun Devil Stadium have been, they look good. They did a nice job with it.
Yeah, I haven't been in here inside the stadium in a couple years. I think the last time I was in here was for a Broncos preseason game with the Cardinals. So that's been what? The Cardinals been over at the new stadium for 8 or 10 years at least now. So
you haven't seen any really good football here in quite some time. This might be it right here.
Right, yes. that was a dig. That's okay.
If you're watching the Cardinals and Broncos, that's a tough watch right there.
Preseason too, pal. 117 out.
He's going to kick it off to a short field. And who is that, Skidmore?
Yep.
Gage Skidmore took it at the 20, took it out to the 35-yard line, and that's where Red Mountain will go to work at they'll spot it on the 37-yard line. So nice return there by Gage Skidmore. I don't think Mark Smith thought that Gage Skidmore was going to return the ball like that here. But a good crowd for Liberty. They're spaced out all over the 50-yard line on the west side of the stadium. Red Mountain, the top seed in the tournament, got to select their uniforms. They chose to wear all black. They're on the west side, the east side of the stadium. Now it's Nas Bryant is checked in. He's flanked to the right of Hiram Bourne, a two-back set. High snap again for Bourne. This time they run it to Ty McElroy, and there's not a lot of room that time. Again, the defense for Liberty, stout up front. Number 90 right there, that's Collins again. Grant Collins was the first guy there. For Collins, his 33rd tackle of the season after a 3-yard carry there for Ty McElroy.
Bit of miscommunication in the backfield that time. McElroy running right into Nas Bryant.
Off balance offensive line. Again, another high snap. They run it this time to T-Mac, and T-Mac gets cut down. He was upended after, we'll call it a 4-yard run. Nice job that time by Ty McElroy, and some good blocking there by Isaiah Artis as he pulled that time, and then Shane Pitts came in there to make the tackle.
Yeah, nice defensive play there for Liberty. They're doing a great job with their outside contain right now, forcing everything back to the inside whenever possible.
So the Outlines face a 3rd and 3 here. Ball spotted on the 44-yard line, their own 44. Bourne looks back towards Tabor Lamar. 2 wide receivers to the right side. 2-back set for Bourne. 3rd and 4. Bourne wants to throw it under a blitz. He throws down the field. The ball is going to be caught by Jared Wilson. Wilson at the 40, and he's going to slide down at the 35-yard line. What a pass by Hiram Bourne under pressure with a defender in his face. Bourne off the back foot, threw that pass with a lot of touch, and the accuracy, it was just like dropping it in the breadbasket.
A beautiful pass there from Hiram Bourne. You mentioned the pressure. He had guys in his face, able to stand in and deliver the football on time to Jared Wilson.
24-yard reception for Jared Wilson. They run it to the right side, and with some real estate and twisting and turning and moving that pile is Ty McElroy. A gain of 8 yards for T-Mac. Nice job there.
Now they're clicking. That's a 9-yard gain right there, Kevin. 2nd and 1. A lot more plays available on 2nd and 1 than 2nd and long, I tell you what.
No doubt about that. Stevenson and Accurso up there defensively after the 9-yard run there by Ty McElroy. Again, a great job on the right side that time, running the football for Red Mountain. Quick snap. It's T-Mac again. They hit him at the point of impact, but then picking up the yard, maybe a yard or two after that. That's a first down carry for Ty McElroy. And once again, Josh Philby right there to put the stick on Ty McElroy. And it was after contact for T-Mac, but T-Mac comes off the field here, and he's holding that left side just a little bit as George Ramirez now will report in this ball game. Ball is spotted on the, we'll call it the 24-yard line.
Philby got that low center of gravity, 5'10", 195, and he brought the lumber that time and dinged up Ty McElroy a bit.
Another high snap for Bourne. He makes the catch with that high snap with one hand, and then he takes the ball right up the middle. Coming away with the football out of the pile there was Liberty's number 34, Michael Hammond. He had the rock. Penalty marker down. This is the first penalty flag thrown in this ball game, and that's exactly what you want to see here, James, in a championship affair.
Yeah, and that's kudos to this AIA officiating crew here tonight, doing a great job essentially letting these guys play. Face mask call on that one there, Kevin.
And those are usually the obvious fouls. Not a lot of holding and the clutching and grabbing stuff. That's a good call, and that's just a good fortune for Red Mountain.
One thing that this Red Mountain football team has not been used to this year is a defense like this Liberty Lions team that keeps coming. They play team defense just like the Red Mountain Mountain Lions do, and so they're going to have to keep playing on offense until the whistle.
One of those guys doing it and getting after the quarterback is Luke Stevenson, 6'3", 250.
Man, they keep coming.
He's a load. They got a lot of depth. 4 down linemen, Curso's on the end. There goes Jared Wilson in motion. Shotgun snap for Bourne. He wants to throw. He throws a little dump pass to the tailback, and the tailback unable to haul that one in. Trying to get the ball into the hands of Nas Bryant, and Bryant unable to make that catch. Making the play was Isaiah Pittman. We've talked about Isaiah Pittman. He is a talent, 5'11", 180. I mentioned he was a first-teamer in the region, but he plays both sides of the ball. And, you know, when you got a guy that's kissing 90 tackles on the season, he gets after the football. Him and Jack Stams are just two outstanding players in the defensive front there for Mark Smith.
Yeah, Isaiah Pittman, I was doing a little game prep, Kevin. I had to do a double take. The guy has 17 TFLs on the season.
Yes, sir.
Holy cow.
Bourne on a direct run, trying to get to the edge, turns the corner, and he gets drilled by Pitts. That is a place kicker out there playing some linebacker. Shane Pitts put the drill on Hiram Bourne.
Man.
And Bourne is one tough hombre. There's no doubt about that. And you can see Hiram coming back to the huddle. He's got both hands on his hips, and he's taking a slow stroll. Now, Hiram took a couple shots in that win over Queen Creek. And that 21-9 win over Queen Creek is Bourne trying to collect himself here, and he might have had the wind knocked out of him.
Speaking of taking a shot, look for Red Mountain to take a shot at the end zone right here, Kevin. I tell you what, Pitts uncorked on Hiram Bourne that time on the far sideline.
3rd and 7. Ball spotted on the 9-yard line. Red Mountain could get the 2 for the first down. In the red zone. Empty set for Bourne. Now McElroy joins him to his left. High snap. Ty gets the ball. Ty with some room. Spins out of a tackle. Ty still on his feet and finally gets cut at the, we'll call it the 7-yard line. Nice job there again. A lot of gang tackling for Liberty and wholesale changes coming in for Red Mountain. Looks like they're going to elect for 3 here as Connor Gardner is on the football field.
Yeah, CG11 is going to come in here and bury this, what is it going to be, 23-yarder?
23-yarder. The ball is spotted on the far hash. Jared Wilson is the holder. They'll spot the ball at the 13-yard line. Again on the far hash for Connor Gardner. Placement down. The kick is on its way, and it is no good. He missed it wide left. A chip shot for Connor Gardner, and he shanked it left. Tough break for the senior place kicker for Red Mountain, and he's a first-team all-region place kicker in the East Valley for Connor Gardner, and that's just a mistake you don't see happen very often.
Yeah, tough break there for CG11. Usually he can knock that through from 33, sometimes 43 yards out for Connor Gardner, but unfortunately, that one not able to get through the uprights.
Gardner was 5 of 8 on field goals this season. His long was 42. So he misses that, and by rule of the ball, it's placed on the 20-yard line. That's one of those rules that I don't necessarily care for, but that is the rule. So Liberty gets the football back. They have a 7-point lead. It's 14-7, and the ball's on the 20-yard line. They've got 80 yards to go here with 2:12 to go.
Red Mountain defense looking for a turnover here.
Four-man front. They run it to Forney with a big hole. Forney breaks the tackle and in going along for the ride after an 11-yard carry. That's Parker McClure with an unassisted tackle for him. Now approaching 110 tackles on the year, but Forney, a nice run that time, an 11-yard gain.
Look at the thighs on Forney, Kevin. Oh, my goodness.
He is built, no doubt. Empty set for Guevara. Looks right. Throws down the middle of the field. The ball is going to be caught at the 45-yard line in space. There he goes to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Liberty. Carter Hill takes it to the house.
Wow.
69-yard scoring pass from Jonah Guevara to Carter Hill, and Liberty has opened this game up 20-7, extra point pending.
Well, that's what Red Mountain can't do, is give up those big plays, and right now it's too easy on offense for this Liberty Lions football team. This defense for Red Mountain's got to stiffen. They've got to get a little bit more help in the middle. It can't be all Parker McClure taking care of business in the middle of the football field.
They're going to have to change a few things up. Coach Kyle Enders, their defensive coordinator, was concerned about just how many looks that Liberty will give you. They are so exotic in their formations and how they set up their offense. You don't know who's coming. You don't know who's going. And you saw a little bit about that on that play as Pitts drills the point after try. So with 1:45 to go till halftime, it's 21-7 Liberty. And, well, James, the offense is going to have a little pressure now, if you will, in this type of game. Again, this team has faced adversity before. They trailed 14-0 to Desert Ridge in the quarterfinal game, and they rolled there. Different dynamics here. And one thing about this for Red Mountain, you just look at Liberty and you say, hey, these guys are as talented and as deep as we are.
Yeah, right now, you mentioned the pressure on the offense. It's something that the Red Mountain offense is not really accustomed to. The defensive prowess of this football team has been on display all year long. They don't usually give up big plays like the one that we just saw right there. And so now the offense has got to come back on the field, 1:45 to go, and they want to try to get some points.
No doubt about that. They give up a few big plays every now and then. I remember Cole for Desert Ridge passed for 475 yards against this defense. So there was a few big plays in that one. But here we are, trailing by 2 touchdowns. This offense is going to have to start to open things up. How will they do that? They want to run the ball in between the tackles. They've had some success, not the success that they would look for, but is the pressure on the offense or the defense the rest of the way here? They pooch it again, and this time making the return is Josiah Villanueva. A little shake and bake at the 25 out to the 30-yard line, and they're going to knock him down there. A whole host of Lions there to make the tackle on Josiah. We'll speculate that 24, Isaac Proudfit, was the guy that made the tackle, and we just heard
done,
Jim
sir.
Barnett
From
mention
207 up here, pal.
So
I like to
now
see that return there for Josiah Villanueva. A little bit of anger in that, a little bit of spunk there, and that's exactly what this team needs with 1:39 remaining here in the second quarter.
There's always one guy in a championship game that's really kind of unsung, and I didn't know if Josiah Villanueva could be that guy tonight. And for Red Mountain, they open up in quads on this set. They run it right up the middle, and running the football at time was Ty McElroy. He runs right into Jace Accurso. Accurso, again, he's been a beast here tonight.
Once again, a little trouble with the mesh that time in the backfield between Bourne and Ty McElroy.
Gain of 2. Rolling to his right is Bourne. He dumps off a pass to Jared Wilson, and Jared Wilson's going to run into a trio of tacklers, and leading that charge, trying to strip the football, is Jace Accurso. But Hiram Bourne with a nice soft pass, an underneath route to Jared Wilson, and Jared Wilson makes his second catch of the night. And for Jared Wilson, he does what he does a lot. He moves the chains.
An outstanding second and third, maybe even a fourth effort that time from Jay Willie picking up that first down.
Ball spotted on the Liberty 44-yard line, working right to left. This is a play fake. This is Bourne running behind some blockers, trying to turn the corner, and hence the first down is Hiram Bourne. So Red Mountain starting to move the football a little bit here with a little balance of pass and run. That time it was the quarterback getting the edge, and he rips off 8 yards before Forney knocks him out of bounds.
Outstanding job that time for the Red Mountain offense. Once again, a nice gainer there for Hiram Bourne. They're trying to spread this defense out a little bit, and maybe they'll try to gash one up the middle here.
So it'll be a 2nd and 1 from the Liberty 47-yard line. 54 seconds to go till halftime. Now, if you're Mike Peterson, you have to be leery of the clock here, James.
Indeed.
3 wide receiver package, make it 4 for Bourne. Rolls to the near side, has some time. Pressure coming, he throws, the ball is overthrown. He was looking for George Ramirez. He had Jackson Beecher in the vicinity, but applying pressure from the backside for Liberty was their big fella. And as soon as he turns his body to me, I'll tell you exactly who it was. I think it was Jason Curso, but it was indeed this time 16, Colin Lupinacci. So Lupinacci give him a hurry, and Bourne that time had to release the football maybe a second too early.
A little bit too early. He took a shot on that one too, Kevin. He ended up on the football field that time after that pass was thrown.
3 wide receivers to the wide side. In the near slot is Jared Wilson. Jackson Beecher spread out to the far side. Shotgun snap for Bourne. Looks right. Has time. Throws over the middle of the field. The ball is going to be incomplete. And taking a shot there was George Ramirez. He got belted by Jack Stamps. And the Liberty contingent rejoiceful over that pop right there. But it was a little tardy in my opinion. But you have to like the physicality that Jack Stamps plays with.
Well, you have to like the physicality, but the tardiness of the hit was definite there. And Coach Mike Peterson would agree with you on that one. That was kind of a headshot there too, Kevin.
So this will bring up a 4th down and 1. Again, gambling a little bit here. Is Hiram Bourne maybe trying to use that hard count for just a second? Quads in for Tabor Lamar. 2 wide receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Shotgun snap for Bourne. This time he's going to find the crease, and he's got the first down. And then he gets leveled after he has the first down. Isaiah Pittman was right there to greet Hiram Bourne, and Jack Stam was also in the area. It was Stam and Pittman simultaneously. He got popped right there.
Now, once again, Kevin, that's targeting. You're leading with the crown of your helmet. That is the definition of targeting.
You can make the case. So Hiram Bourne with that clock rolling after he picked up 7 yards, took the snap and then down the ball. And you could see Mark Smith on the far sideline barking out at somebody. Mark Smith, a man with a fedora on. He started wearing that hat when he came to Liberty to be the head coach. He was a defensive coordinator there before. He coached at Millennium and other places here in town, but he is now the main man for Liberty. 2nd and 10 for Bourne. He wants to throw underneath. He makes the completion to Ty McElroy. Spins out of a tackle. He's got extra ability to get the first down. So Ty McElroy spins out of a tackle, and you talk about some agility and elusivity right there. T-Mac, as a receiver this time, did a nice job.
A great job there. An excellent block on the edge as well for George Ramirez.
Couple things to factor in here. Hiram Bourne took that snap and then clocked it, but the chain gang hadn't even gotten set up yet. So the officiating team should let the chain gang be established and then allow Hiram Bourne to snap the football. Had they done that, Hiram Bourne might not have had to take it down and clock it. They could have actually used the time of the chain gang or used their tardiness, so to speak, to their advantage, but it didn't work that way.
Exactly. That is an experienced observation right there, Kev.
I would like to see them take advantage of that. They need some extra opportunities here as Beecher lines up to the near side. He does not have a catch. Again, it's Wilson in the slot. Georgie to the far side. Bourne rolls to the near side. He wants to throw down the field. He throws, and the ball is nearly intercepted. Pitts had a hand on it. He threw in a double coverage in Hiram Bourne. And once again, Shane Pitts was all over that. The intended target was Jared Wilson about 35 yards down the field. And for Hiram Bourne now, he's coming off a 3-interception week 2 weeks ago in that semifinal win over Queen Creek. So the quarterback, a little bit shaky throwing the ball down the field right now.
Yeah, that was a dangerous throw there, Kevin, as well. And I think he's taking a couple shots, and he might be a little bit leery
He might
of
not
a couple
be
of
right.
these throws.
Good point. 3rd and 10 from the 33-yard line of the Liberty Lions. That's a 3-down lineman. Bourne going for the end zone. Jump ball, and the receiver falls down, and nearly making an incredible play was the defensive back, once again, Shane Pitts. It's hard to imagine he's the place kicker. It really is. He is a linebacker and a safety by trade, and he's very athletic. And that time kind of backpedaled and then leaned back to try to intercept that ball, and I think he had it in his hands. Once he hit the turf on his backside, the ball popped out.
Yeah, as soon as he hit the ground, that ball scored it out, but a very near interception once again for Liberty, and that ball once again thrown in double coverage time.
Yeah, an ill-advised throw, no question about it. You appreciate the idea of taking a chance. So now Liberty's contingent up on their feet. Their sideline going bananas right now. It's 4th and 10 with 6 seconds to go.
Happen.
You're going to have to take a shot at the end zone, and now Mike Peterson will take a timeout here. That'll be the third timeout of the half for the Mountain Lions. So Red Mountain playing and dealing with a little bit of adversity here, James. They trail by 2 touchdowns with 6 seconds to go, and they need, I would say, about 15 to 20 yards in about 3.5, 4 seconds, get out of bounds and try to set up shop for Connor Gardner field goal attempt. If not, might as well just take a shot towards the end zone.
Yeah, that might be a little bit tough there. I'd look for him to take a shot towards the end zone here, but when you mentioned the taking a shot, you know, Hiram Bourne right now, is he thinking clearly? Is he able to get down and really go through his progressions as he usually does? I'm wondering about that right now.
Well, one thing that we know for Red Mountain all year long is they've really kind of rode the coattails of this offensive line, and this offensive line has really been the strength. We could talk about franchise players and franchise backs and whatnot, and that is all key.
Yep.
But this offensive line has been the backbone of this football team, and I think they got to kind of dig down deep here and give this quarterback a little bit of time here to make some plays downfield.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, sir.
Here we go. 4th and 10 from the 33-yard line. Empty set for Hiram Bourne. Looking right. Here comes the pressure. He scrambles. He's going to go down, and now he gets away from the pressure. He's all by himself now to the near side at the 45-yard line. He's going to wind up and throw it towards the end zone, and the ball is going to be broken up and incomplete. And that is how this first half comes to a close, with a Hail Mary into the end zone. And once again, the Mountain Lions dodge a bullet, and that ball could have been easily picked off, but Red Mountain did a great job of scrambling away from the football. And here we are. We're joined by assistant coach and the offensive coordinator, Chris Andreatis, here at halftime. Chris, it's 21-7. What's going right and what's going wrong for your quarterback right now?
We're running the ball pretty well. We're not really running the offense efficiently, though. We're sluggish getting out there and getting lined up, and it's killing us right now. So we got to be more efficient.
Do you like the passes towards the end zone into double and triple coverage?
No, I don't at all. You know, unfortunately, their defense is set up to play deep passes. So we need to get back to our game, and we'll do that in the second half for sure.
Is there a way that we could get the ball to the tailbacks in the flat or any kind of screens, anything like that?
Yeah, we got some of that stuff. You'll see that in the
Okay,
second
good.
half.
Chris,
Right,
thanks for your time.
guys.
Chris Andreatis down to the coaches' locker room here at Sun Devil Stadium, and there's a lot happening here. We're going to step aside for a quick break. They've got 20 minutes up on the Long Jeep scoreboard here at Sun Devil Stadium. We'll take a quick break and conversation with Cody Cameron from Arizona Varsity coming up next on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. We welcome you back to Sunnyvale Stadium here in Tempe. Kevin Derryberry alongside my halftime guest, and that is Cody Cameron from Arizona Varsity. Cody, we're going to start with your prediction just because that's what all the jabber is about. That's what all the conversation's about on social media, Twitter, Facebook. But you made a prediction, and for our listeners tonight, it's kind of a funny prediction, but it's a play on words almost. You picked Liberty to win 70-0 after an appearance at Red Mountain's practice. Tell us what happened.
So, first of all, I want to clear the airways. I absolutely have no hate towards Red Mountain.
Of course you don't.
Love the coaching staff, love all the athletes, and the running joke with that is every single time that I chose against Red Mountain this season, they won. So when I was at practice on Wednesday, the coaching staff, including Coach Enders, and we talked about him, seems like every single show, one of the best defense coordinators in the entire state.
Without question.
He looked me straight in the eyes. He said, Cody, you better not choose us. And if you do, we're coming after you. And I said, Coach, you got my word. So when we were making our picks on Thursday, our Arizona Varsity playoff pick-em contest that we're doing, without a doubt, no question, when I was filling those spaces up, Kevin, I went 70 spot with Liberty, 70-0.
With conviction, too, right?
With conviction.
Absolutely. Well, here it is at halftime. It's 21-7. And your thoughts on the first half thus far?
See, we talked about this Liberty team, and it's an extremely stout team. And on paper, they don't have any superstars. They don't have any of these Power 5 recruits, and there's a lot of them in our state this year. You don't see a ton of Division I talent on this team, and they don't need that talent. They have such good, stout football players who hit hard, who are fundamentally sound, who get after it. And I need to clear myself actually right there. Their offensive guard, Frank Thompson, is an ASU commit.
Right.
And he's a freaking stud. And all they do, you just said it, Red Mountain is playing themselves right now.
Right.
Meaning they got tough kids. They got kids who can get outside on the perimeter.
Athletic.
They got kids who run in between the tackles. And they got kids on defense who tackle extremely well. And the difference of what's happening in the first half is Red Mountain is not capitalizing, especially down in the red zone, and Liberty is, plus the two big shots that Liberty hit on for touchdowns.
Yeah, the big
That's
pass
the difference
plays.
of the game.
Yeah, Jonah Guevara with his arm in this case. He had 3 touchdown passes last week, or a couple weeks ago, if you will, in the semifinals over at Desert Vista in that 33-30 win. But here he's got 2 more touchdown passes here. And this one, I think he's got 7 now in the postseason. He's showing that arm and the ability to throw the ball down the field, and those guys running great routes. And you talk about this tight end, Carter Hill. That's a tight end scoring from, 71 yards away, 69, whatever it was. But Carter Hill, this dude can pick him up and put him down.
And those are big plays. So that play literally happens off the missed field goal, and they go big shot play right away, and that's capitalization. And they would have had another one. But the freshman cornerback for Red Mountain, Cole Shivers, makes a phenomenal play to break up the pass. But with that said, Kevin, some of the receivers on that team are wide open. They're running combo routes, little hitch corner routes, and they're burning them. And that's set up from being successful running the football. They had an 8-yard touchdown run where they just pounded the rock throughout the entire drive. Big senior Jace Accurso, who's also their middle linebacker, every bit of 225, 230. Wide load, running right in between the tackles, and they're just capitalizing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The game is physical. There's a physicality on this football field that we haven't seen in a little while. I mean, as you ramp up in these postseason games, you see the physicality with an uptick. But here tonight, again, 2 beasts going at each other. Let's take it down individually just a little bit. Jack Stams of Liberty put a wall up on George Ramirez. Now you got a safety running pass routes, getting drilled by a safety. So you got 2 guys that are as tough as nails. And then the shot that Stams put on Ramirez, your take on that play, I thought it came in a little bit late. As you mentioned, we were talking off the air. There was a tip there, so that could have made anything live right there. But I thought that was one play that it could have gone the other way. But at the same token, the officials, I thought, made one penalty call here in this game. They've done a great job officiating this game.
And Stam was one of the only freshmen in the entire state to start at the safety position for a 6A school last year.
Yeah.
Now the sophomore, 15-year-old sophomore, phenomenal talent, hits like a hammer. Honestly reminds me of a young Georgie, just the way Georgie played last year, watching him in the postseason and how well he progressed throughout that year. Jax, with that freshman year experience, now his sophomore year hitting like a hammer, but on that specific play, I do agree with you. We talked, like you said, we talked off air. I thought that the ball was tipped, and when the ball is tipped, you can hit a receiver, but that ball was past George. I don't think it was a dirty play by Jax. I think he just couldn't see at the same time. But when you talk about the officiating, I thought this crew has done a really good job. They've let people play out, and on top of that, it's been a quick game. Which is always a plus. We're not out here for 5 hours.
Yes, no question about it. Beautiful night here at Centerville Stadium. We're visiting with Cody Cameron of ArizonaVarsity.com. And Cody, we were talking about some individual players, but we talk about these teams mirroring each other a little bit. So Jack Stam defensively. Now go to the other side of the ball. Defensively, Parker McClure, a sophomore, 108 tackles through tonight's game. And he's just a sophomore also. But the one thing that's been different for Parker McClure, his tackles are being made from behind the play, not in front of the play, and that's a huge difference for this Red Mountain defense.
Yeah, and we talk about what makes Red Mountain successful. They own the line of scrimmage, and they have done that all season long, and they have done that all postseason long. Well, guess what? Liberty up front, extremely stout. Those guys get after it in December, January, March, February. Every single month out of the year, they're in the weight room squatting 3 times a day. That's 3 times a week. All their strength and conditioning coaches, phenomenal out there. They are pound for pound right now winning the battle up front.
Yes.
And like you said, Parker McClure, that kid is going to be special.
Yeah.
What he does just as a sophomore right now, I cannot wait to see this kid develop. But you're right, he's making plays 5 or 6 yards downfield, where Liberty, they're in, how many plays are they in 2nd and 2 situations, 3rd and 1, manageable situations? Red Mountain, that's not like that, 3rd and 10 consistently.
Yeah, in your point, I'll suggest one thing. For Red Mountain to get back in this game, I told James just before we went to halftime, I think that we talk about franchise players like Ty McElroy and Hiram Bourne, and, of course, the franchise, and Deontay Elliott is sitting here on crutches tonight. But what has been overlooked for the success of Red Mountain's football team has been their offensive line.
Yep.
And I think tonight these guys are going to have to step up their game here in the second half and give Bourne some more time to work with if they can. But I think that's been the deficiency for this offense for the Mountain Lions. They haven't been able to establish the quarterback to throw the football down the field.
And James said it best when we're off air. This team needs to come out with aggression, especially for the senior group. You have 2 quarters left. You are down by 14. When I come out of that locker room, I'm letting it all out on the field. How do you want to be remembered? If I'm a senior right now in that locker room, how do I want to be remembered? Not by losing in Sun Devil Stadium. I want to get a win. And to do that, you need to dominate the person who's in front of you.
Sure.
I look forward to doing that. Where it starts, though, they have to get a stop. Liberty gets the first possession here in the 3rd quarter. You have to get a stop. Obviously, a 3rd and out would be key. Just get a stop, put your offense back in the field, and go down and score. That's what Red Mountain needs to do.
Best player on the field in the first half, Jonah Guevara?
Man, it's looking like it. I would give it to Jason Curso, just what he's done on both sides of the ball. Just like Red Mountain's players. There's a lot of guys. Man, there's a lot of players who play both ways. Maybe not start both ways, who play both ways. Having a guy who's 230 and durable like Jason Curso, who can carry the rock in the backfield, get you 6 to 7 hard yards a carry, and then consistently make tackles at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield and be the captain of your front 7 defensively, that is a special talent. I think Jason Curso gets that award here in the first half. But the good thing is we get a second half.
Yeah, there's 1 half to go. All right, so let's play coach. Cody Cameron, what are you doing if you're Red Mountain to come out in the second half? Do you get aggressive here, as you just indicate there? Do you do what you did when you came into the game plan, or are you tearing up the game plan and you're going to come out slinging it and you're going to try to move the football?
Defensively, I think Enders will always have a great game plan.
Oh, he's going
to. I would stick to his game plan. I would keep a safety over the top for a play action pass, but my front 7, I'm shooting gaps. I might get a little creative with my blitz scheme, maybe a couple double A blitzes with my inside backers, just to put them in situations 2nd and 12, 3rd and 12. You got to play smart and read your keys, of course. Red Mountain's a very intelligent football team. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting after it, though. I'm telling my guys, hey, we are winning this battle of the line of scrimmage, and to do that, maybe get after the quarterback a little bit, put him in uncomfortable situations.
Like you say, 24 minutes left.
Yep.
all chips at the center of the table. It's time to lay it out. You got to go right here and right now.
This is it.
This is for the championship.
For the most kids, this is why high school football is so special. For most of these kids, they'll never play football ever again. This is it, and that's what makes it special. Go live your glory.
What a venue here at Sun Devil Stadium, huh? High school state championship game. The AIA outdid themselves here tonight.
Best weather in the entire country.
Yeah.
I know places in the Midwest it's negative 20 degrees right now.
Help our audience out. Who's winning the other games playing here tonight?
Mesquite was up 10-0 driving late in the second quarter against Desert Ridge. That would be Desert Edge. That'd be a huge upset here in the 4A. And last I checked in the 2A game, River Valley is beaten Phoenix Christian, who is also favored in that game. So we have two could be potential upsets, three potential upsets in the state of Arizona tonight.
You saw the 3A title game last week. Does Isaiah Jamison fit here in this stadium?
Stud. I know he's only a sophomore running back.
Yeah.
The class of 2022, Isaiah Jamison could play at any level and be a 1,000-yard rusher. Put him in the Chandler region up in 6A, he'd be a 1,000-yard rusher. He is that special. His combination of speed and power makes him a phenomenal running back.
He went for 303 yards in that championship win for ALA Queen Creek and their head coach, Rich Edwards. All right, one last note. Zacchaeus Cooper, the talented freshman for Liberty, did not suit up in that game. I thought that was going to give Red Mountain a little bit of an edge, but you talk about the usage of all the backs for Liberty. They might be wearing down that defense of Red Mountain here just a tad.
Running back by committee, and
Yeah.
they, just like Red Mountain's running backs, they go up against an extremely talented defense every single day at practice. They're ready for this big stage, and they performed well in the first half.
Cody, always enjoy it. Great reads, great coverage. You and Ralph and all the fellas get it. An A for an outstanding effort this year. And now all you got to do is get us some more points here and get us a dub so we can invite you to the ring ceremony, my man.
I'm here for it, man. I want that invitation. So, I love Red Mountain community, and I love what you guys do, man. It's been a blast.
Cody Cameron, our guest here. More at halftime coming up next from Sun Devil Stadium as you listen to the Red Mountain football broadcast on the Mountain Line Football Broadcast Network. We welcome you back to Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe on the campus of Arizona State University. Kevin Derryberry alongside James Poovey on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. It's CT11. So he will begin the second half as he boots one deep to Isaiah Pittman, angles across the 10, outside of the 15, turns the corner to the 20, 25, 30, and it gets drilled at the 30-yard line. Who's over to make the tackle there? Cole Shivers, it looked like. We'll spot that on the binoculars here.
That was L3.
I was just going to say, that looks like 19. That's Lennox Lawson down there on the special teams tackle. A penalty marker came in on the play, only the third time tonight. But how about Lennox Lawson down there? He put a little wallop on the return man, Isaiah Pittman. That is a freshman getting after it there on special teams.
Great job there by L3. And it looks like an illegal block in the back is the call from the officiating crew referee, Zach Erdman, making that call there. So that'll back up Liberty a little bit and help out that Red Mountain defense here as we start the second half.
Well, the Mountain Lion defense needs to get that motor fired up here early. And the one guy that they need to get involved here is Trey the Truth Smith. But one thing about it, there hasn't been a lot of true drop-back passes for Guevara. So the chances for Smith have been few here this evening. So Guevara will go to work here with a 2-touchdown lead. And there goes his tight end in motion. That's Carter Hill. He's the action man here. They run it up the middle, and breaking into that secondary is Forney, and he's going to take it out across the 30-yard line. They'll mark it on the 31-yard line. We'll call it the 32. And making that tackle was Skylar Edmonds, his second of the game. But a huge hole up the middle for the Liberty Lions. So that's how they start this second half, with a gaping hole and a big run.
Well, you got to give some credit to this Liberty offensive line right now.
They run it right again. It's Forney, and he gets put on his back there by Skylar Edmonds. Edmonds was there. Parker McClure might have gotten an assist on the play, but you talk about some big guys up front. 52 and 55, those guys are just behemoth. 52, Vincent Maestas, 5'10", 230. He's just paving the way down there after that 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 from the 35-yard line of Liberty. Flank to the right of Jonah Guevara is Jason Curso. They run it on a sweep to Jaden Pena, and Pena's going to be stretched out, and they're going to slam him to the turf. Making the tackle, a penalty marker comes in from the field judge. Skylar Edmonds was there on the ball carrier, Jaden Pena, but tangled up on the near sideline was number 7. That is Gavin Guy, and that's where the penalty marker came from. So there's a flag laying on the 45-yard line on the Red Mountain side. Here's the call. So the freshman Cole Shivers commits his first penalty of the season, and it's an unsportsmanlike infraction, and that is uncharacteristic of the freshman. Cole Shivers is not a guy that commits those types of infractions, James.
Very unfortunate there for the Red Mountain defense. That was a great play there. All started by number 9, George Ramirez, with outside contain, premium outside contain there, forcing the play back inside to the defender for Red Mountain.
Forney flank to the left. There goes the action man. That's Pena. They run a little run to the right side. It's Forney again as they string him out to the right side. Major Kelly was on that play along with Andrew Bonham, and also there was Cole Loria. Ethan Peterson actually came up there and got the hand on him, had to force him out. So nice job there by EP. And you can see Ethan Peterson, his game has improved each and every week as he's played throughout this season. Tackle number 54 for EP.
Yeah, nice stop there for Ethan Peterson. This Red Mountain defense has got to continue to stiffen and stop those edge plays.
A Curso flank to the right. Now he goes in motion out to the left side. Guevara in an empty set. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Back to throw for Guevara. Winds up, steps in the pocket, going for the home run ball, and that is overthrown. And the defensive back for Red Mountain, that was Major Kelly. He got caught in coverage going down the football field, some 30 yards down the field, and the ball was intended for Kalen Knapp, the junior wide receiver, and Major Kelly, all he could do was literally tackle the wide receiver. He brought him down, and that is going to be a 15-yard penalty. And right now, on their heels is this Red Mountain defense.
Yeah, they are. Major Kelly right there trying to make a play, trying to locate that football, and was just so tight on the receiver that time that, as you mentioned, he ended up basically just tackling him down, and the referee right there to make that penalty call.
So Liberty in the driver's seat on the scoreboard at 21-7 with 10:09 to go in the third quarter here. They've got the ball. This is their opening drive of the second half, and they are approaching the red zone. Ball spotted on the, we'll call it the 29-yard line. A quick snap. They run it to a Curso. They run it wide, and he's going to get tackled right there. Skylar Edmonds has made 3 tackles on this particular drive, and you talk about staying at home, reading your keys. Skylar Edmonds did just that right there.
Yeah, great job by Skylar. Full extension with the arms, getting off the block, shedding the block, and making the stop there in open space. A great job staying home and staying in his lanes.
So this will bring up a 2nd down and 10. Clock rolling at 9:41 in this third quarter. The wide receivers in the game for Liberty right now. You've got tight end Carter Hill, Gavin Guy, and then Jaden Pena.
This Red Mountain defense right now, what they're doing, Kevin, is they're playing catch. They've got to start attacking this Liberty offense and getting underneath the pads of these offensive linemen.
And taking a timeout just before the snap. One of the things that you saw right there, and it's part of this gimmick or exotic activity, if you will, they were in a huddle, a semi-huddle, and then 2 guys broke out to the right side. Those were the receivers, and then they kind of broke the huddle at the line of scrimmage there, and then Guevara, within about 2 seconds after that little huddle break, he snapped the football. That's when they took a timeout. So my guess is, and I'm just speculating, that Coach Smith took the timeout to perhaps save a penalty right there, or what's your idea there?
Yeah, you mentioned the exoticness of this offense. They come out in a lot of different formations. I've noticed even on this drive alone here, they'll have 3 offensive linemen grouped up, and they'll have 1 guy over here by himself taking on a blocker. And I think the Red Mountain defense right now just doesn't know what kind of look they're going to get.
That's exactly it. It's the unknown here, this X over stuff. There's a lot of formations that they're coming up with, and that's why you saw that frustration from Major Kelly. He had a guy streaking down the field. This is your linebacker there, and he's beside himself because he's running down the field. All he could do was tackle the wide receiver, and he saved the touchdown probably.
Yep.
So it was a smart play by Kelly. All right, back to work here. 2nd, and we'll call it 11. They run it to Pittman. A sweep to the left. Turns the corner, 25, 20. Still on his feet, inside the 15-yard line, and they'll spot him around the 12-yard line. That's Isaiah Pittman, by far his best run of the evening here, and another nice job of tackling there out of that safety spot by Ethan Peterson.
A nice play there as well. Number 2, Andrew Bonham on the play for the Red Mountain defense.
Quick snap again, and not much room to work with that time for Isaiah Pittman, but they're just rather quick with snapping the football. Right now the mojo is all on the side of the Liberty Lions.
Yeah, Red Mountain right now getting a taste of their own medicine. This hurry-up offense on for Liberty, and they are trying to push the pace here in this third quarter.
In the first half, Forney rushed 7 times for 33 yards. Guevara had 31 yards on 1 carry. This is a wildcat formation for Curso. He fakes it, and now he's going to run it. He runs it left, and he's got a couple of yards before he ran into Cole Loria. Nice job right there, JP. Good stick there by Loria. Cole Loria has picked up his game here along with Skylar Edmonds, but right now, Liberty's offense a little bit, they're rather deliberate right here. They're just marching down the field here. They took advantage of that unsportsmanlike foul and then also pass interference foul, so they're cashing in right now on the mistakes and the miscues of this Red Mountain defense.
Red Mountain's got to hold them out right here, Kevin.
Guevara with Forney to his left. 3 wide receivers. He's looking left. He's looking for Guy in the end zone. He goes that way. The ball is caught, but he's out of bounds, I believe. We'll wait for the official ruling, and now the side judge says he's out of bounds. Boy, the delivery of the football by Jonah Guevara was right on the money. And Andrew Bonham did a great job of playing the position, and he used that field as part of his boundary there. An excellent job of the field awareness there by Andrew Bonham, as you just mentioned on the previous play.
Yeah, great job there. Guevara with a great throw. You mentioned it, over the top of the head of the defender. Only his wide receiver is going to catch it, but unfortunately just a little bit too much and too far out of bounds on that one.
So Shane Pitts will come on and attempt the 25-yard field goal from the left hash. Brock Mast is the holder. Good snap. It's a fake. They throw it back to Pitts, and he's going to be tackled. Making that play for Red Mountain was Cole Shivers, I believe. It was indeed the freshman reading and reacting on that particular play, and that is a huge dodge of the bullet right there. Mark Smith's team gambles on a field goal. They had 3 points right there. How big will that be as we play on here?
I was just about to say, Kevin, how big it was going to be if they could just hold them to a field goal. They tried the little trickeration there with a fake and snuffing it out. The freshman, number 21, Cole Shivers, doing a great job once again, staying home, reading his keys, and making an excellent play there. Now this offense has got to get it going.
Cole Shivers has made 2 huge plays in this football game. Now Hiram Bourne goes back to work, trailing by 2 touchdowns. They run it up the middle. That's Ty McElroy, and great job by the wide receivers continuing to block down the field, but little do they know that Ty McElroy got stuffed in the backfield. They'll give him a yard on forward progress. Russell comes in there to make the stop for Liberty, and with 7:22 to go, working right to left, trailing by a couple of touchdowns, Hiram Bourne's got to go to work here.
They got to get the ball on the edge, Kevin.
3 wide receivers to the near side, and you saw Isaiah Artis try to leave that snap count just a fuzz early as he was getting ready to pull right there, James.
Oh, man, he was ready to go, wasn't he? That's a tough call there. Isaiah Artis always up front doing a great job for the Red Mountain Lions and trying to get a little advantage on that pull step there, and a little bit too early, unfortunately, for the referee's liking.
How difficult is it for Deontay Elliott to be down there on that cart looking up in the stands? You can't even see the field from where he's at right now. Bourne out of a shotgun snap. He runs a sweep to Ty McElroy. Ty McElroy jumps through a hole, lowers his pads, and tries to drive forward. But, again, the Liberty defense, very stout right up there, filling those run lanes up rather quickly, and not a lot of real estate for Ty McElroy to get that downhill edge going.
No, I tell you what, credit to these Liberty coaches. They have got these guys really coached up well. They're filling their lanes very well. No hesitation whatsoever. They see the opening, they go up, and they fill it in a hurry.
In your opinion, how much of the week off has a factor in tonight's game, or at all? Does it even factor in?
Well, it's got to factor in because these guys, the offense right now for Red Mountain does not look in rhythm whatsoever.
2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right for Hiram Bourne on a play fake. He wants to throw the football. He's got a lot of time now. He throws down the middle of the field, and the ball again is caught over the middle of the field at the 47-yard line. Making that catch, his first of the game, is J.B. Jackson Beecher. That was a spectacular catch, and that throw had a lot of sizzle on it. That was a beautifully placed ball, and only Jackson Beecher could have made a play on it. I thought when the ball went to the air, it was in traffic again, but Beecher made that play in traffic.
An excellent job elevating, high point of the football that time, Jackson Beecher.
25-yard play to JB. Now they run a sweep to the edge. It's going to be Ty McElroy, and McElroy picked a lane and just dove for extra yardage there. But, again, up there defensively for Liberty on the hunt. That was, I think it might have been Foldy.
Indeed it was. This Red Mountain offense right now, they've got to attack a little bit more, Kevin. They can't, as much as I appreciate the patience of Ty McElroy waiting for the play to develop, these these Liberty defensive line are coming the entire time, and they got great run support coming up from the defensive backs as well. So they've got to hit the hole and hit it hard.
Nice job by Marquise Corley on that particular play. They run it right up the middle and running it right into that defensive front was the tailback. Penalty marker comes in. Liberty says they got the football. And you can see Colin Lupinacci is holding the ball up high. He has the rock in his hand. I think Ty McElroy was the ball carrier. Now Josiah Villanueva will come in and perhaps spell T-Mac here. And one thing that you do when you bring in Josiah, you bring in a little elusivity and a lot of speed out of Josiah Villanueva. So Red Mountain will take advantage of this particular aggressive style of play by Liberty this time, and they will move the chains here, and boy, do they need something to help them out on their offense. And if it's a 15-yard penalty, so be it.
What they need right now, Kevin, is a spark, and it could be that number 26, the Typhoon, Josiah Villanueva. We talked about it during the first half. You mentioned there's always some unsung hero in a state championship game, and it could be number 26.
We can only hope on this particular night. No question about it. Georgie Ramirez lines up to the far side in a 3-wide receiver package. Jay Willie in the slot, Beecher to the near side, and it's Villanueva on a play fake. Wilson, and this is going to be Bourne going for the home run ball. The ball's going to be caught by Georgie Ramirez into the end zone for a touchdown. Hiram Bourne finds Georgie Ramirez 39 yards away into the end zone for a touchdown for the Mountain Lions. Paydirt pops, touchdown Red Mountain.
Here we go, baby. Hiram Bourne out of the shotgun. Excellent protection up front from his offensive lineman. Georgie Ramirez running a 9 route, bending it in towards the post. Touchdown Red Mountain.
What a route by Georgie Ramirez, and he is just efficient. He won't just blow you away with speed off the block, but he just knows how to play this game, and he knows where to be, and Hiram Bourne found him, and that's a huge play for Red Mountain as they climb back in this ball game. Snap down, placement is good, and the kick is right on the money. In between the pipes here at Sun Devil Stadium, and Connor Gardner is true. 4:43 to go. Our new score, Liberty 21, Red Mount 14. Do the kids have the cardiac comeback in them?
Now we got to keep swinging Uncle Mo over to our side, Kevin. We've started that process. We got to keep it going. We need a 3-and-out right here on defense. We cannot give up any more big plays, and we have got to attack on defense. We cannot stand back, play catch, and wait for them to come to us and try to make a tackle, because right now that's not working.
It's interesting to think about some of the things that we believe, some of the things that we talk about, and it's funny when they come to fruition. I thought that Red Mountain's offensive line needed to just dig down just a bit, give Hiram Bourne a little bit more time so he can find somebody, and I thought that they stepped up and Bourne was able to deliver the football down the field. They needed a chunk play, and they got a chunk